let's start the final. Okay, let's start. Let's start the last session. And for the last session, I am with Davide, Petrillo, so you see a young and an old guy, so let's say it's an average age. And we shall try to make what was called in the program a wrap-up session. But I must say that after discussion, we arrived to the conclusion that wrapping up in 1 hour, 14 hours of discussions during these 3 days would not have a significant added value. So we have decided that you will be the one to make that wrap-up. Because you, as I said in my introduction, I hate spectators, even more commentators, so we shall not ask you to comment what has been said during these 3 days. We shall have other opportunities to do that. So I wish that you are the actors of this wrap-up session. And I shall give the floor to Davide for a few words, and he will challenge you, each of you. But just to say that everybody agrees that we are experiencing a strong momentum for exploration during these last years, with a lot of activities, even much more plans than activities. So it's a strong momentum. I would like, since I am the old guy, I have known already a lot of momentum for exploration. This is not the first one, I can tell you. I have known the Apollo acceleration, and I would like to recall that Apollo stopped much before the end of the acceleration. The Apollo program was stopped much before it was planned. Then we had, for the 20 years anniversary of the landing on the moon, the President of the United States, George Bush, launching a very strong initiative for restarting exploration. Then it was in 2004, the son of President Bush, George W. Bush, who launched a significant exploration program with the moon, Mars, with the Constellation program, spending almost $20 billion on that. And it has stopped. And then President Obama, and so on. So just to say that we have known already a lot of acceleration. Unfortunately, the biggest difficulty is to sustain the momentum. So this is what I would like to discuss during this hour. How can we sustain that momentum? Because having a momentum, I would not say that this is simple. It requires a lot of politics, money, and so on. But sustaining a momentum, it's much more difficult. So this is what I wish to tackle in that hour. You have to, just to recall that all the sessions of this conference have addressed sustainability. The philosophy for exploration was addressing sustainability, to try and associate other people to widen the support. Number two, it was the dream missions. Dream missions are also a way to sustain a momentum. Then it was flying machines, going faster, because going quick is very important, because unfortunately time kills. Yesterday we have seen someone proposing to kill the time, but unfortunately usually this is the time which kills, and not the other way around. So time is also a killer, so going faster could help. Water is also an important factor of sustainability, robots and humans. So all that was addressing sustainability. But is it enough? So before and after I shall stop, I shall shut up. I have just my notebook and I shall just write notes. Before stopping, I would like to challenge you, to make you actors. What would you do to sustain the momentum? And I would not like to have discussions as we have had in the last round table, because asking for money, asking governments to put money, I must say that the usual guys who were in the round table, this is their job, and they will do that beautifully. So I am not asking you to repeat what has been said by the professionals, but you, and especially the young generation, what are you ready to do personally, not asking somebody else to do, but what would you be ready to do to contribute to the sustainability of that momentum? That's it. I stop. Davide, I am sure that you have ideas, okay, please, your turn now. You are a young guy. You are much more able to speak to the young guys in the room. So your turn.
Thank you, Jean-Jacques. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure, of course, for me to be here together with all of you. As Jean-Jacques mentioned, my name is Davide Petrillo, and before starting, and of course, talking about the young people, I just wanted to say, first of all, a huge thank you to you, Jean-Jacques, and of course to the organizing committee, because I remember we started this journey 2 years ago, more or less, and now we are here. It's incredible how time flies. So congratulations as well to the committee, and of course to organizers for making this happen. So it's a good question, Jean-Jacques, what you asked to the audience, and before challenging you and going through this session in which we're going to take notes, what I've seen here, and I was impressed, is the amount of young people that is represented here in this audience. How many of you are below 35 years old? Look. Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, Maria Antonietta too. Yeah, it's true. I still keep my hands raised. Good, that's fantastic. I mean, yes, absolutely. That's incredible. This is the future, Jean-Jacques. This is really what we have in front of us. And that's where we would like to start. As Jean-Jacques mentioned, and Jean-Jacques said, I heard lots of input from you all, from the young people regarding this conference. It's incredible to hear that there were more than 300 registrations for this conference. It's incredible. Congratulations as well for this. And must say that definitely more than 50% of the attendance was from young people. So again, congratulations to the organizers and congratulations for all of us to making this happen. So that said, I will say from my point of view, definitely I'm happy to hear from young people what's your idea, your philosophy on how we can keep this momentum sustainable. And don't be shy, because I see already a hand raised. So that's already a good point, Jean-Jacques. What do you think? Okay, so I know that guy. Bram, what do you think?
I will stand up so everyone sees. Hi, my name is Bram. I was also program committee. Maybe you see me. So I think over the last days, I think it was just, I've seen so much inspiring thing, but the one thing that probably sticks to me was actually the last panel that we had. And I would have loved to have questions to this panel because it was such an interesting panel. And I think there was one really touching thing for what DJ said in the end, which is we need a new generation of leadership. We need something different in Europe for the next generation. And as a young person from the young generation, I sometimes feel a bit frustrated, I can honestly say. I wish to write my own future of space exploration and not being told what to do in the future of space exploration. In my project group in SJC Space Exploration, we recently have been reading the report and all the reports that came out of the revolution. And the one thing that really struck us was, where are the young generation in these kind of determination things? And yeah, for me, the one thing that I'm just really thinking about this in the end of this is really, I'm really motivated to keep pushing the young generation into these plans and make Europe, yeah, really, you know, nice place for space exploration, because I think the potential is there, like we have seen in 3 days. Yeah, so for me, I hope that I'm not the only one who feels like this way as a young professional, that I'm just really motivated to, you know, head down, work, and yeah, keep coming on with good ideas.
Good point, Bram.
Can I say something? I need to say something because I'm leaving soon. I just wanted to give a very quick update on JUICE before I leave. So I got a very informal information from the project. It has not been confirmed by ESA, so keep it for you. We managed to deploy the stuck element of the radar antenna. Thank you, and keep it for you, because I prefer that it will be advertised by ESA formally, but because I'm here, I thought it would be good to tell you this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's your contribution to sustain the momentum, because that is certainly good news.
Yeah. So congratulations. That's why we have to work across generation. I am less than 35, because on Mars, you know, the years are a bit longer. And I think that we have also to work out, you know, work all across generation, also across geography, across gender. So I would like to also give a challenge to all of you. So I really enjoy this audience, this exchange, but also we can make some diagnostics. So we have the new generation, they were here. They present beautiful dream project, but you should try to get some engineers to check your project. And you know, those that are building missions, I think we have really to work on it. Bram was one of my students, actually, so I'm very proud of him. So what can we do? I was at the beginning with Jean-Jacques after the first Bush initiative. That's how I got my first job at ESA, actually. And I built a mission to the moon in 3 years. And then we tried to build the lander to the moon, and it took us 30 years. So now we have to work, find a way also to get some of this execution, not only the vision. So, you know, vision without execution is hallucination. You need really to work on program, on activities. And so what I would like to bring here, in the meantime, I left ESA, and we have started a new endeavors. And so we started an initiative which is called Sustainable Development Goals for Space. And we have started also an initiative where we are hiring new professionals. So I want to offer 10 positions to some of the young professionals from here to join some of our group to work on some of the topics we have discussed. So, and I want also to say that we need to have a follow-up for the execution of some of this big momentum that you know, have been rejuvenated here. So thank you for your attention.
Good. So we go to Bram's question. Good. Thank you, Bernard, for your intervention. I just wanted to, I see lots of ideas, lots of things happening. Of course, in terms of, you know, respecting the, let me say, the flow, I will go to Bram's question then. So what Bram just mentioned, no? He said, how can we make sure that the next generation and the leadership, really, we can build the next leadership in Europe, no? And it's a really great question regarding this, like how can we make sure that the young generation is involved within the decisions that are going to happen now? Because what we are going to decide right now is going to, let me say, going into the future of the next generation, that it's us. So how can we make sure that we can build this next leadership?
Well, I think that, again, the agencies, industry, they are offering to young generation. Let's say that yesterday we have listened to two ISA YGT, two ladies making a presentation. So I am just giving that example, not because they were ISA YGT, but this is a way to involve the young generation as early as possible in the project. Just during lunchtime, I can tell you. Lunchtime, I have seen a student with a small flag which was Polito Rocket Team. So I went to that guy and I said, what is the Polito Rocket Team? And I learned that it was a team of students of Polito making rockets. They will be part of a competition in June in United States with their rocket. And that, I must say that making a rocket when you are a student, and they are not the only ones. I have known also students making rocket in TU Munich. I have known in Supaero. So, but that is certainly a way to sustain the momentum, because to develop hands-on new vehicles is certainly a way to sustain the momentum, including the competition among students. This is fantastic. I have tried to organize that, and again, CNES has also its own program on that. So this is just to say that I cannot make the list of everything which is already done, but what I would like is, again, that you are not looking for something which is already existing, but that you are creating the opportunity. I would like just to give you, I am going directly to my final conclusion. We were 30 in the program committee. You are 300. If today we could move from 30 believers into 300 believers, it's already a factor of 10. And if each of you convince 10 other guys, let's say in 5-6 rounds, we convince the 300 million of Europeans to go to exploration. So you have a role. You have a role. Obviously, the astronauts, they are the best ambassador that we can dream of. But it's not only to the astronauts. Don't always count on others. Do what you consider. Be an actor, not only a spectator. And this is what I would like that you take back when you are out of this room. It's to make you ambassadors of space exploration and trying to preach for space exploration, because the guys who were at the round table, they will do this job. They are professional. I know them, I must say that, including the current ESA Director General, so they will make their job. So, but don't only rely upon them. Do your part. And this is what I would like to get from you. And any ideas, and we have already received in writing, I have received, there was one young lady writing to us that she was ready to play her part, and that's very good, and even to continue the discussion. So this is what I would like to get from you. And any ideas that you can make now, I have again my notebook, and I can promise that I take notes and I shall follow up.
No, that's great. No, and honestly, I completely agree with you 100% on one of a short advice that I also wanted to give to the next generation, being I still consider myself as young, so something that is really, really important, I would say as well, to build your leadership skills and make sure that you can really become then the next leaders, especially in a European environment, is to speak up and express yourself. You are in a situation here in which you have so many experts in front of you, from industry, from space agencies. Go to them, and I'm sure that they will be the first ones saying, hey, we can talk about it also, not only at this conference. Connect with those people. Make sure that you can get as much experience as possible and skills from them, because that's how you can also build your leadership skills. And then they can also be the ones giving you the opportunity to then become the leaders in your personal career, and then, of course, for space exploration itself. So that was just also a small advice that I wanted to share from my personal point of view. But we should give the floor again to the audience, right, for more input.
Okay, Davide. I'm probably the older man here, with 60 years this year of activity with space. And I've been, of course, introduced with you about the selection. You remember that. So I will tell my friend Jean-Jacques, we met sometimes back and forth going to the US when we were young enough, about the ambition. So I agree with Jean-Jacques that we deliver a message, and then the sustainability is important. I would remind you that we had quite a fight and a lot of advocacy to get Europe #1 in the environment, observation of the Earth environment, with a meteorology as well. So Europe is #1. Second, in the aviation, we're happy enough to know Mr. Alguerre, and he was supported by 2 commissioners to get the Galileo program on board. It's a valuable asset for Europe. Now for exploration, we need a big message. Maybe Roger Maurice Bonnet would have bring a message again. He's as old as I am. We have a message that, in fact, if old people like us can deliver again the message, not the industry, not the political, etc., not the bureaucracy, but the strength for the future is you, for one clear reason. Going exploration, you have seen the JUICE mission, 10 years. I've lived with the Cassini-Huygens mission, 7 years to go there, and again 7 years in the mission. So this is something that must be supported by young people. This is their career sometimes. So science is a good asset, and going and having resources in other planets. Today, nobody knows, but some people are preparing, so that young people in Europe must support that as well. So, and you deliver the message of the support of young people. This is where Jean-Jacques is totally right, and he has asked us in the program committee to do that way, and we have accepted. So I've accepted also the exchange with you, and we are very happy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So there was a question? Yes. A question or a comment or, yeah.
Thank you, Christopher Gussanger. I not have a question. I just want to give my thoughts, and that is that Jean-Jacques, you asked, how can we keep the space exploration sustainable? Well, it's through entrepreneurs. We will not be able to forever expand into space and have humans going furthermore on just government money, right? It has to be commercial money, and that comes through entrepreneurs who start up new companies, and that's where, again, you young people come in. I think the role of us older, that is to try to help you find the money you need to push your ideas and create the new companies with the new ideas, which will bring the cost down and further our exploration efforts. And well, that's one of the things I know from Jacques is working with. I'm also trying to work with that. And that is basically my message. I was thinking, the panel there, they say, we know what to do, they said, but I was thinking, but I don't think most of you are the right persons to do it. We need to get the money to the entrepreneurs, and then that will sustain the space exploration. That's my conviction, at least. Thank you. And thanks for the conference.
Thank you, Christa. Again, I would like to push you, because I don't see a lot of people, young people standing up, because, let's say, maybe you don't, it's difficult to believe, but I was young. I was there at your place. And I can tell you that life is going very fast. To be young is the sickness that you will recover, unfortunately, much too early. This is the only sickness that you recover much too early. And you guys, you are the leader of tomorrow. You are the DG of ESA the day after tomorrow. And because it goes quick, I can tell you. When I was student, I was not dreaming to become DG of ESA, I can tell you. But I was dreaming to do things that I could control myself, that I could change the world, and I have tried. I have tried. But you have to change the world. When I was welcoming the newcomers at ESA, every year I was making a speech to the newcomers of ESA, and maybe there is no one in the room, but I always finished my speech by saying, don't let ESA change you. Change ESA. And that is a very important message. You should not let the world changing you. You have to change the world. Do it. Do things. Let's say, we were speaking of transformation. The transformation will not come only from Airbus, OHB, Thales, or ESA. I have tried many times to change, and I had much more failures than success. Changes are also coming from outside. You are the vector of change. So change the world, please.
I wanted to say that's a really good advice, keep it in mind, but you all showed it with a round of applause. So I see that we have a question there. Yeah, perfect. Question, comment, sorry again. Here. Can you raise your hand?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Giulio. I'm a student of the University of Bologna, and I just wanted to share a quick thought on how we young students should be motivated. One of the ways that we should be motivated with, and it's basically sometimes what we just need is trust and responsibility in, I don't know, projects or thesis or everything, because sometimes it's just a matter of self-confidence in order to do that step, that step forward in becoming someone who can actually change. And especially in Italy, I think this sometimes is an issue for us young people. So that was just my thought.
Thank you for your comment. Okay, let's go there and then we go behind.
Hello everyone, I'm Chaitanya Mandala. For my answer, I'd like to go back to Elina's comments about having other priorities, which is climate change, global warming, or security and defense of a country. These are the main concerns of most non-space people as well. So, and for which the solutions can be found from space. So personally, what I would do is I can convey this message that the solutions for these priorities could be found in space through in-person communications or where I meet with non-space people, or also through content that I share on LinkedIn. I've already shared Ms. Samantha's concerns from her lecture yesterday with LinkedIn, and there is a good response there. So personally, this is what I would do. I would reiterate this message that the problems on Earth have solutions in space.
We are happy as well to get answers from the audience as well, to create a sort of debate.
Hi, I'm Valentin. So my suggestion would be to make the way of knowledge transportation more creative and more fun. For me, like this conference, it's a very good symbol what is happening. So it's a very static way of knowledge transport. We're just sitting here and having front lectures for 3 days. And there are opportunities to make it different. Let's see if you involve more arts or make it a little bit more party, whatever. But I think it's a good way to bring more young people into this whole scene if you're just making it more creative, more fun, and a little bit more movie, I would say. Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Wonderful. Any other recommendation from the audience? Antonino, first row. Thank you.
Thanks, Davide, and thanks, Jean-Jacques. My main recommendation is that you need to do another conference because this was extremely interesting and stimulating. And also, on behalf of SGC, I really would like to thank you for involving us. I think having young people presenting their dream mission was really a great opportunity for our members to engage. Bram and the Space Exploration Project have done a wonderful work, but this is just the beginning. It took 2 years. My challenge for you is do another one next year, and hopefully we continue to do and engage together more and more actively. And then this is the way young people are involved. Keep them in the loop and continue to involve them in this event. I think that's so important. And in terms of exploration, what we are really missing, I think, at this stage is a global vision for space exploration. That is, unfortunately, the result of some divisions that we have on Earth. And so I think the challenge, when I look at the moon, for instance, we have a lot of good missions. We have a lot of good ideas. We want to have a permanent presence on the moon. But as humanity, have we really wondered what we really want to achieve with the moon on a broader level? And that requires an alignment that we don't have today. We have a great opportunity with the moon. It's a blank page. And what do we picture on it? Is it going to be just different shades of color that are completely uncoordinated, or is it going to be a painting? And I think the only way that we can go one way or the other is if we take action today. And we have a great example. Many stakeholders in this room have the knowledge to do that. We just need to take a step forward and start coordinating. So for the young generation, for SGC, thank you for involving us. We want to continue, so let's do another one. And for space exploration, let's try to have a global vision.
Great one. Yes, please, please.
I found the discussion today about the future, the panel discussion, very interesting and very important. But I also think it's important to celebrate what has been accomplished in Europe. In my own case, I went from Europe to the US during the years of the Viking program and was involved in that. And it was at the time when there was no Europe in planetary exploration. Nothing. And yet, today, we see in the exploration of the Jupiter system, Europe enjoying parity with the United States. It's not just at the table, it's dictating how things are done. So let's celebrate that. Let's not just focus on areas where Europe is just a supporting actor.
Okay, thank you. No, I appreciate, and let's say we are very proud of what we have done in Europe. That I have never minimized, and I was certainly the luckiest ESA Director General, because I have seen a lot of missions which I was not there when it was decided. We were speaking of Huygens. I always said Huygens has been decided under DG Lust, developed under DG Luton, and launched under DG Dordain, and my only credit was to be there when we landed. So I must say that, but it was a fantastic event. And I can tell you that I can report that after the landing of Huygens, ESA was considered differently by the other space agencies, because we had at that time meetings of heads of agencies, and especially from the International Space Station, and I can tell you that they were looking at me differently after the landing of Huygens. So, and after Rosetta, it was even more fantastic, because just to say that we landed on Philae on the 12th of November 2014, and I went to Florida on the 4th of December for the launch of the first SLS, and I have had the most fantastic reward of my life, because when I arrived at the immigration, the guy was there and asking me what I was coming to do in Florida, and I said, okay, I am coming to see the launch of SLS, and I am working for ESA. And the guy was telling me, you have landed on a comet. So to have someone at the immigration in Florida saying that he knew that ESA has landed on a comet, so I fully agree. But there is always room for improvement. And what I would like is to, again, to contribute to the transformation. And again, I don't want to interfere with ESA. The day I have left ESA, I have never went back to ESA. There is someone in charge, and he is doing well. But again, even now, I am trying to continue to change. And I know that the change will mostly come from the young people. I am working with a lot of young enterprise, only guys that I have known as students who are making new enterprise. And thanks to them, I always say I touch cost that I could not have even believed when I was at ESA. Meaning that the young generation, they are able to bring changes that everybody will benefit of. It's not against anyone. It's for anyone. And this is where, when I am been asked to organize, to be the chair of the program committee of this conference, and Jean-Jacques, the other GJD, has recalled that I said, ready to do, provided that they are young people. I would not have organized this conference without young people. Yeah. And because you are, again, the ones who will make the future, not me anymore. I regret. I would prefer to be there. But okay, I am on this side. So, but please, please don't consider, please don't consider that this is the role of anyone else than you. Yeah. You are in charge, nobody else. And that, it's an important message, and I would like that you take that when you are leaving this room. That's it.
Yeah, no. It's an important advice, and again, with an expert like the former ESA Director General, it's important. And just to conclude, and then I give it for you for the conclusion as we are wrapping. We need to wrap up. One of the comments I love the most is the comment from you. The building trust and credibility and self-confidence. That's another piece of advice on top of what Jean-Jacques mentioned. Like, it's important that experts like, former director generals, managers, directors, trust the young generation. But a small piece of advice as well is that also us as young generation, we need to build our own trust and credibility and get out of the comfort zone. So if the more we get out from the comfort zone, and the easier it is to build the trust for us and making sure that then we can become the leaders of tomorrow. So again, don't be shy. Try again to go and speak to the people, to the experts, because they're here helping us, the young generation. They're here waiting for us because we will be the one building the future. So. That said, we need to wrap up, Jean-Jacques.
Okay, so my very last recommendation, take risks. Take risks. Risk belongs to progress, and that is an important factor. Now, there is the rector coming. Okay, pardon, I did not see you, I am very sorry. Okay, so we close that session. And I shall come back for 3 minutes after the rector, just to thank the ones that I would like to thank.